Let's refine it further. Let's refine it further. We'll make it mad, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch, where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, we're making that. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Let's refine it further. We Mike and Matt, lead the way. Let's refine it further. We're here to stay. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we're making that. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Let's refine it further. Let's refine it further. Always on track. We'll make it back. With the clutch, double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Yo, what's good? Hey, Matt, I can't put my finger on it, but you're looking a little different tonight.
I didn't get no sun this week. I've been sitting in the house. I need to get out there and get my glow on,
What's good with you, brother, man? Welcome to the show, man. What's good, Zach?
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Looking forward to tonight's discussion. FYI, everybody, Matt is likely not going to be on the show tonight. He got like a singing or something like that, so he's not going to be able to make it tonight. But we got the homie Zach in the building tonight, man.
Yeah. I thought he said it was on Dancing with the Stars or something. I don't know.
Hey, I can see that happening. He got some moves out there. He got some moves, man. He'll athlete, all that good stuff.
He's a man of many talents. I'll be watching his Facebook all the time, and I'm like, what's he doing now?
So how's it been going, man? Happy New Year.
Oh man, it's been a great year so far. Nothing bad's happened. We're doing good.
Yeah, I'm already over there with all my goals, man. I'm hanging it up to 2027. I'm just kidding.
So far in the past day, I've crushed all my goals for the year.
Just right on top of it, man. Right on top of it. We got a bunch of people.
Cut soda.
Say again?
I successfully cut out all soda this year.
Okay. Yeah, you like you're doing really well with that, bro. Keep up the good work. Are you like a New Year's resolution type person, like setting goals for the new year and stuff like that? Or you just kind of
man, no, I'm more like that's the surefire way to get me to not do it. Because like, dude, I'm the guy, like I was always, authoritarian, disciplinary issues. Like, I don't like being told what to do and stuff. And it's like, you stick that out there in front of me. And it's like, you told me I had to do it. I'm like, that'll be the last thing I do.
Same, man. I'm not like a big like New Year's resolution type dude. I mean, it's a good little like reset moment in the sense that it's a brand new year. But as far as like New Year's resolutions, all that kind of stuff, nah, that's not my jam.
No, yeah, like some general goals, do better. Yeah. Usually my goal every year, like I'm gonna do better than last year.
Facts, big facts, man. Let's say what's up to some of the folks in the chat. We got the homie Mike Duval in the building. Duval, what's good? What's good? Justin, what's good? Ozark Mountain Morse,
the homie.
Appreciate you coming out. We got Shane, Small Town Exotics. I saw him in the pic with Slay Road earlier today, man. Big shout out to y'all, man. Hope y'all had fun. I guess y'all was at a reptile show, something like that, man. I saw some pics from the Atlanta Repticon too. I didn't even realize it was an Atlanta Repticon this weekend until I started hearing it from a whole bunch of people. And I saw Will was there. Will from RCR.
Yeah. I saw Steve posted something earlier. I was like, man, I didn't even know that there was shows this weekend. I thought like, they at least give everybody, the weekend off. Like I thought next week is when that shit starts back up.
Nah, they was on it, man. We got the homie Dwight, the pie man in the building. What's good? What's good? Appreciate the spelling. Appreciate it. This past Thursday, yeah, I think I put like a T in Takari name, like an extra T instead of the R. Speaking of Takari, man, big shout out to my lovely wife Takari. Y'all make sure y'all show us some love, man. And don't stop there, man. Show the channel some love as well. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hook smash that notification bell so you can get notifications each and every time we drop a video here on the channel. We got Reforming Genetics in the building. What's good? What's good? Third Coast. What's good? The homie Josh MCBR in the building. Yes, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Have a fantastic 2026. What's good? Motor City Morphs in the building, man. Lots of people in the building tonight. I'm gonna start right there, man. We're gonna pay some bills real quick, man. Hey, since we got you here, man, you run the sponsor app.
Oh, that's it right there. If you haven't checked out husbandry.pro, you need to check it out. You can get 60 days free with DC Squad 60 coupon code. That plugs into Reptile Ads. You've got quick exports for your morph market. You've got your own dedicated web space on there for your future business needs. Keep up with all your husbandry, everything. It's a one-stop business central that works with everything that is out there in the business community for the reptile hobby.
You sound like you did it before.
I just winged it. I ain't never done it. I hate doing promo bits. They be like, I like doing these podcasts where we talk and stuff, but every once in a while someone will come up and just like, they just want to stick the thing in your face and be like, go. And I'm like, we got husbandry. It's professional.
Track your snakes and stuff.
Yeah, there's turtles, geckos. Yep.
All that. So, man, speaking of software solutions and kind of like all that kind of ancillary technology alongside the reptile industry, about 4 months ago or so, you rolled out Reptile Ads. So, man, talk a little bit about like what Reptile Ads is.
So we dropped October the 28th, so basically right about 2 months ago. Reptile Ads is a dedicated listing site. It's a online reptile marketplace. It's listings and pretty much only listings. We do connect with other things in the hobby, like we have an affiliation with we have an affiliation with Redline. We have an affiliation with Husbandry Pro. And, we plug into some of those other things to make your business easier. But this is just about the listings. We don't want to convolute it. It wants to be easy, simple to use, simple for the sellers to use, simple for the buyers to use. And, when you go to Reptile Ads, you know what you're doing there. You're there to buy snakes and sell snakes or other reptiles and lizards. We also have enclosures and section for dry goods that we're working on filling up.
Oh, nice. So is this like just you or like who all's involved?
So I am the CEO and one of the owners of reptileads.com. We do have one other owner. Robert is a partial owner from Husbandry Pro. Yeah, he is our CTO. He runs the technical side of it. We are a separate company. We do run different with different management needs. It gets a little convoluted for some people. I know a lot of people think that, it's the same company and stuff, but it's not. It's a very weird working environment. We have one meeting where Robert owns the company and I'm an employee and I run it, and he tells me what to do and I say, yes, sir. And then we're like, okay, switch hats. All right, now this is what we're going to do on this. And so it is a little different. I do drive the ship on Reptile Ads. It is my baby. I've been privately working on this for a couple of years now. And it's been a grind, really, like especially the last 6 months to get it out. But
what made you want to jump into this space?
So the people, honestly, it was all the requests. Especially once I started working with Husbandry Pro, like we were inundated with people wanting us to do a listing site. And and I talked with Robert about it, and we were just both kind of against it because one of the complaints we heard about some of the other systems out there was how, when they start doing a little bit of this and that and everything around, it gets convoluted and it gets hard to mess with. And one of the biggest complaints about Husbandry Pro is that it's complicated to use. There's a lot to it. And with what it does already, it's true. It is a little complicated. It has a little bit of a learning curve, because it does so many things. It's designed to plug into everything in the reptile hobby. Husbandry Pro was never designed to do everything in the reptile hobby and to take over all these different spots. And we felt to move it and to make Husbandry Pro actually make it a marketplace, a listing site, viable as a listing site, would lose its identity in husbandry. And it would be too convoluted. Like nobody would be able to use it. There would be a little diehard group of people who loved it. And we didn't feel it was a good place or direction for Husbandry Pro. We decided it would be better spent to be able to focus just on the Husbandry Pro, to make that system better for what it's for husbandry, for business development systems, for business management systems that plug into the rest of the reptile hobby.
So the development team, is it the same folks on both teams?
There is some cross people, but we do have some separate people also.
Gotcha.
A lot of training was done because everything for Reptile Ads is built on state-of-the-art new technology. And everything for Husbandry Pro next is being built on state-of-the-art new technology. And they're the same stacks. They're being built for the people who understand it. They're built on React Native with Next.js on top of that. And that is, for what we're doing, the best, fastest combination option available, the most advanced, and the one that will continue to be being advanced in the future. And so it's a problem because when you take all of these developers, because developers are a dime a dozen, you can get them on Fiverr and stuff like that, but those are PHP developers. PHP is old school stuff. I mean, it's still out there. They're still supported. Most websites out there are PHP. And because it's been out so long, that's why there's so many developers available. And it's hard to get developers who are cutting edge, state of the art, like who work on Amazon and eBay and Facebook. Those guys are expensive and they're hard to find. And so that's what we've had to have for all of our new systems. And that's the reason a lot of these smaller businesses that launch stuff like this stick with old school PHP. They can get them built cheap. I love you, Billy. And Chris. But they can get a site built cheap. I can pay someone $500, $500, $1,000, $1,500, work with them over a couple months, get it banged out. But it's going to be a lower product. It's not going to be as fast. It's not going to be as ready for the new businesses. It's not going to be as backwards compatible to plug into all the other systems, so we wanted to do what was best. And that involved either hiring a lot of expensive people or doing a whole lot of training. And we've gone through some serious growing pains in the last year and a half, trying to get this knocked out. In the end, we decided it was best to do a little of both. So we have some, Next.js people, that's what they trained in and everything. And then we trained up a whole bunch of staff, with things like geneticalculator.com, which is launched recently from the Husbandry Pro side. We use that as a training environment. We plugged that into Reptile Ads. That's the genetic calculator that reptileads.com uses. And we use some of those joint processes to train some employees up to build on both of them. And so that really helped everybody get on board to, like, Husbandry Pro Next has been moving ahead at light year speed. Because of all the training and stuff we got knocked out with a genetic calculator and Reptile Ads. So it helps everything.
Not to get too far off topic, but when is Husbandry Pro Next supposed to roll out?
We don't have a launch date on that yet, but we do have a very tentative. We should probably be getting some people in there to test it and play around this month. I believe Robert has laid the gauntlet down to Billy that he would get some of his Patreon members in there this month, and Billy's staying on him about that. So as long as we can keep Billy on him, we'll get some people in there hopefully this month to start playing with it, at least initially. It is much more of a challenge than, Reptile Ads. Reptile Ads is singularly focused. It's a listing site. When you do something like Husbandry Pro, like I said, we've got all these different systems that we plug into. So it's a little more advanced. We can't say how fast it'll be ready to launch once we let people in, because we don't, you do this kind of stuff. You don't know what kind of load we're going to run into with bugs and stuff. Once you let in even 10, 20 people to start testing, like, those bug reports can start getting days long in just an hour. So we got to see where it goes, and we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver on the Husbandry Pro side.
Yeah, once you start letting people in there, man, it's all kind of stuff get unearthed.
Oh man, dude, I was shook. When at Reptile Ads, like, I didn't know what to expect. This is my first software company launch. Like, I've launched plenty of businesses, and done lots of things in different environments, but software was not it. Launching a software company, and I've heard you. Oh my God, dude. I was so monstered up. I was staying up till 3 or 4 in the morning every single day. Like I've literally just last week have started going to bed at like 1 or 2 in the morning again, like a little bit earlier. But dude, I was just so rattled with all the feedback from every direction. Like everybody has input about everything. You got to be ready for that. Like, dude, like I had to take that back for a minute. Yes.
Hey, look what we got. What's good, homie?
What's happening?
What's happening?
Oh,
hopefully y'all can
come on and sing for us tonight.
Hey, man. Hey, I just got done singing, man. I ain't got no more in me.
We thought we was gonna get a solo.
Hey, what's going on, man? How we doing?
Good, man. Good, man. We actually just getting into the conversation, so this perfect timing.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah.
Zach was just telling
follow you.
Yeah, Zach was just telling everybody how, like, if you sign up for 100 Pro, they're gonna send you $1,000 by the end of the month.
Oh, I'm a decontinue and then recontinue.
Y'all heard it first. Promised to you by him.
Yeah. Said Billy from Mutation Creation gonna fund it. Billy and Shane.
Yeah, just shoot Billy a message. He'll have his people get with your people.
Hey, whatever works, man.
But yeah, talk about that process when everybody was coming at you, because I know it can be like a pain in the ass. Everybody kind of coming at you from from all kinds of directions, right? Like this is wrong, because there has to be like a prioritization process, right? You can't do like all the things, right? And so like talk about like how that went.
Oh man, and that's the crazy part is so many people want so many things, and you have to prioritize everything. For Husbandry Pro, a lot of the times I'm like, do it. Let's just do it. Usually we have the development staff for it. It's like, just do it. When you're doing a new system like that, it's like, instead of somebody asking, 3 or 4 times a week for little things, I've got one message from one person. He's asking for 8 different things. And this other guy wants 7 different things. This guy is sitting here sending me a message like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I love this one thing. Don't change this. And then this guy is like, I hate this one thing y'all added. I will never use this system if you signed up and you keep doing this one thing. And I'm like, I like both of these people. What do I do? It's daunting. Like it's very mentally taxing. Like it's a mental thing, to be ready for all this and, and all the critiquing and feedback, and not everybody's nice. And, and it's good. It's good to get the honest feedback. I appreciate it and stuff, but sometimes you have to just like, be like, hey, it's feedback. Let me step back. Like nobody's trying to hurt anybody's feelings, because it's when you build something like that, it's your baby. Someone comes up and they're like, your baby's ugly. You just want to beat them up. Like I remember the first time one of my best friends, my daughter's like not even 6 months old. This is like my best friend in life trying to tell me like something I needed to do right with my daughter. And like, I'm ready to fight this guy, and that's what it's like whenever you launch this software. Like you spent all, like you've poured your heart and soul into it. And some guy sends you a message and like, this is shit. But you had, I had to take on all of it, good, bad, the negative feedback, I'd take it all. I would look at it a day later. I'd put lists together, go through, analyze them objectively, look at what they said, and, and not do it in the moment. Like if somebody sends me something that's irritating, like, what, let me just take a step back before I reply to them. Let me look at it objectively. Maybe they had a good point. And, and so that was how I kind of took it. I just took it with a grain of salt, tried to analyze it all, make a lot of lists of everything. Tried to keep it as organized as possible. Like I did have like a Facebook group, but that quickly went away. Like, because you're trying to get all these different people to test. And like half these people are like, I don't use Facebook. And it's like, so you can't even just disseminate information in one way. And it's like, oh, well, we've got a, I'm drawing a blank now. Not Discord, but it's like Discord. We've got a Discord server thing. We're like, okay, well, we'll do this little Discord server thing. People are like, I'm not doing that. I don't mess with that. I can't get that on my phone. I don't know how to make that work. And I'm like, So, it's been an experience, like I've ran larger groups, but when I'm running large groups before, if there's 87 people, I'm looking at probably 40 of them whenever I'm having a big meeting. They're all right here in front of me in one room, and now I'm trying to run stuff where I don't even have phone numbers for some of these people that work for me. And I've got to do it all through messages, and it's been an experience. You just have to be really organized with everything.
How big is the team roundabouts?
It's actually a fairly small team. We've done some reorganization as of a couple months ago, and we're down to about 7 people. A couple of full-time developers, purely geared towards it. We've got some people who move back and forth. But I've got a guy who pretty much stays on the project. But like right now, we mowed through all of the bugs. Like I've been so impressed with the team. They've done so good, and on the product in the first place. And, the testing was hectic and it was crazy, but I will say that I feel like we crushed it. And if you don't feel like we did, I invite you to go check out reptileads.com and tell me where we didn't crush it, and we'll crush it and we'll work on crushing it. Because we've been good. Like we've actually moved. We expected to be all the way through New Year's working on bugs, and maybe even the following 3 months, we hoped we weren't the following 3 months, but we expected the first quarter to just be bugs, and it wasn't. It was like maybe 30 days. And even some of that, we were still adding in some features here and there. We've already added in a couple of really nice features and more going. And I think I've gotten one bug report in the last week, and it wasn't a true bug. It was more of a request, so just rolling along, man.
Obviously, like working through all the bugs and stuff, like that's all challenging. But like, was there something that was particularly challenging, like more challenging than some of the other things you had to kind of go through, where you couldn't get it right and you just kind of had to keep working at it till you finally got it knocked out?
On the technical aspect, the part that gave us probably the most fits was our Husbandry Pro integration and our Morph Market import. Because we wanted to make those things work so well and so smooth that, you could because we knew we were trying to get people to come over from these other systems to use our system. And we wanted to make that as easy as possible. Like stupid easy. I'd make them redo the system and then give it to me with no instructions. And if I can't figure out how to do it in a couple of minutes, I'm sending it back. It's not intuitive enough. And then so we did all these implementations and imports, and then we added in different steps where you can stop and you do a pre-import, you can change things if you want to, then you do a next import and you push it all through, and it was a serious nightmare to work with. And I'll be honest, Darian could have fucked me on the process, and he still could. He still can anytime he wants to. Anytime he feels like fucking with us, he can change his export stuff or his import stuff. And we have to go back and we have to fix it. They did do it once, but it, took us, I was really happy. It took us less than 24 hours. They changed the way their import export stuff worked a little bit. It took our guys, less than the night. By the next day, we had it fixed where we were back up and running and importing again.
What did they change? Was it just like the layout of the fields and stuff?
Just a couple layouts on the fields. The specific thing they changed that kind of threw the hitch in our giddy up was when they changed from how they do feeders. It used to be froze state and then type. And so you had frozen, thawed, live, or whatever. And then a separate field was rat, blah, blah, blah. Well, then they changed it to be one field.
Okay.
And so we had to adapt to that, because Husbandry Pro uses a 2-field system. Reptile Ads was set up for the same 2-field system. All 3 of them use the same 2 fields the same. So that one was a little bit, but still, we knocked it out. We knocked it out in 24 hours. He made me have to stay up till 5 a.m, but I knocked it out. But we're not here to piss and Cheerios either. We're here to work with everybody. I called him. I'm like, hey, what's up? Are y'all fucking with us? And he's like, no, man, it was an accident. It was just something we decided to do. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to fix it. And he's like, all right, no problem. I don't necessarily dislike Darian. We talk. I view me and Darian as, 2 different opposing sides with the same mission. It's a lot like politics. We both kind of want the same goals, but we vastly disagree about how to get there.
Got you, man. I know you got some questions. I want to take up the whole time.
No. I mean, if you got them, because right now, do you got the questions I sent?
Yeah.
Are
I
you
got
able to pull them up? Because the only light I got in my car right now is my phone light,
Okay.
so I can't look at the questions.
Okay.
We did. Me and Chat. You know what I'm saying? Chat definitely assisted me on my questions. You know, so
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to, ask the questions on, what I'm saying. I think that a lot of people are going to ask, as far as, people that are currently, because Morph Market is the site to use right now, and it has been for the past few years or whatnot since it's been up and running. And so, yeah, so we just got, what I'm saying, we just drafted up some questions. I think it's about 10 of them of questions on, what I'm saying, and it just we could run through these and see your thoughts on them and put you through the fire on what I'm saying, and test what I'm saying, why we should consider Reptile Ads. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see how long it takes to get me through 10 questions.
We got you. So what specific problems does Reptile Ads solve that Morph Market does not?
The problem it solves is ease of use. That's one of the biggest ones that we wanted to focus on was, Morph Market's gotten convoluted, as they've added in shipping and some husbandry, and they've got forums, they've got all this different stuff. When you go in Morph Market, like there's literally videos that teach you how to use Morph Market. Like, I don't want to have to use, I couldn't figure out how to use Morph Market when I started this shit. I had to go online and watch YouTube videos because I'm like, I remember in the beginning, I couldn't even find the listings. I'm like, where's the animals? There's no animals. And so it's convoluted and to figure out how to do things. So we wanted to provide that ease of use for people. That's one of the big things that, we don't feel like they can change on really.
Like what specifically is convoluted?
Man, if you go in there, there's menus all down the left side, all down the right side, and you got to find stuff. You got to look for it. You got to hunt for it. There's just so much going on because it tries to do all of these things. And honestly, one of the bills we're trying to foot that we don't feel like they do is they're not a listing site. He likes to point stats out there. Every time I come on here and say something about them not being a listing site, you will see Morph Market post something about, look at how many listings we've done versus auction stuff. And they put off something statistical because he watches me when I'm on here. I know he's going to see this and he's going to say something about it, but it's moving to be a listing site. His biggest push right now is to get it switched over to the live auctions from the regular auction so he can compete with Palm Street. He wants to push more into an auction site. And what does that leave us? That leaves us with no listing site. There is no listing site. The market data is there to show that when you have auctions like that, most of the traffic on his site is to the auctions, from the auctions to a listing, back to the auction, which means people are going there, they're checking the auctions, they're going to the listings to price match to see what the best deal they can possibly get is before they go right back to the auctions. And, and it breeds a mentality of I'm not buying it unless it's stupid cheap. Like if I wait long, I can't tell you, I've gotten requests. I have other friends who've gotten requests. Are you ever going to auction this animal? Have you thought about doing any auctions? I've been watching your account for a long time and I've been waiting to see some auctions. You're not going to see them over here. And you're more than welcome to keep that over on Morph Market. Because we have a different philosophy about that. We don't feel like animals should be bought and sold like trading cards to the lowest bidder. I don't feel like it's good for the community. I feel like it drives that bargain basement mentality where people are only looking for the very, very best deal they can get. And is it the cause of it? Absolutely not. Is it Darian or Morph Market's fault that they have actions? No. It's Palm Street's auction fault? No. There's always going to be people out there who are looking for a deal. There's always going to be people who are willing to pay for quality and people who don't want to chase that deal. And the first thing they're going to ask is, why is yours so cheap? And that's the environment we're trying to promote over in our listing site, is back to that environment where these animals hold a value. And if they don't have a value, why are we producing these things? Are we just producing these? This was supposed to be about the animals. And
yeah, it's such a complicated issue to solve. I get what you're saying, about the auctions and whatnot, and the animals' intrinsic value and kind of all that good stuff. And I agree with it. I don't disagree with anything you just said, but it's at least not fully. It's such a complicated issue though.
It really
are, right? Because we talked about this a little bit the other night, right? So obviously we know how we got here, right? So it was a big COVID boom. Nobody like had shit to do. Prices was through the roof. Everybody was selling left and right. If you were selling animals at that time, everybody kind of jumped in. They started breeding, like all this supply came. The government was giving out money left and right, and so everybody had all this money to spend. Prices started going up, and then stuff slowed down. You know what I'm saying? And the government kind of like switch courses, right? And they started doing things to basically like rein this in, right? And so like all this was happening at the same time. The money was drying up, but the prices was going up. The supply of ball pythons was going up. The economy was like struggling, and with snakes and reptiles and stuff like that being more of a luxury type item, you know what I'm saying? People they're gonna put food on their table before they purchase a snake. And so like all this kind of like perfect storm kind of created this environment to where we had like this big extreme market correction. And so I do see the auctions kind of helped some of the supply, but I also agree with you 100% that it's people that just kind of just sit around like, I'm waiting till that shit go on auction. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a hard like nut to crack.
Well, and there's people who have gotten to be like that, who didn't used to be like that. And it's the environment that's been bred and spread and populated. It's not the auction environment where it's limited, because I mean, we've had several hour long talks about auctions internally, you know, if we were going to do them and stuff before we finally made a hard stand. We're just not going to do them because, I mean, there's different ways of you can do things. You can do something like, oh, you know what? I'm auctioning off like my pastel lesser TSK paint. There's not any. I've had multiple offers, 10K plus. You know, I'm going to throw that out there. Oh my God, it went up for like 15, 17. It went crazy. You know, like that's one kind of auction. And I feel like that's, you know, the good kind of auctions that happen, you know, like the Barrett auctions, you know, the car auctions, you know, you go up there, stuff's going crazy prices. Nobody's going there to get stuff cheap for a steal. You're going there to get stuff on auction that's not available anywhere else. They know that everybody wants it, you know, and I feel like if you're doing that kind of auction, that's the kind of auction that's good for the environment. But whenever you made it where everybody can do it, there's no limit on it, there's just pages and pages of them, that's whenever you flip it to where now it's just the cheapest stuff. Nobody's going to put their good stuff on there. It's the stuff that people can't sell, the byproduct stuff. And you end up with what you've done is you've created a perfect outlet for people who had no actual business acumen or way to sell their animals other than I'm just going to produce a bunch of animals and throw them on there and list them for the lowest price possible all the way down to the bottom until someone eventually buys it. And normally, historically, those people would fail and get out of the hobby because they would have nowhere to sell their animals. They would, you know, or they would be forced to go and find a reputable breeder who would be willing to take their animals wholesale. But, you know, if you're just flipping and you got dirty animals and you're some random person, you didn't work with people in the hobby, you didn't have that person. You couldn't just go out and just buy a bunch of animals for pennies on the dollar and start breeding because you bought all these animals for pennies on the dollar. You're not going to value the genetics that you bought because you didn't pay the money for them, you know, and then you're just going to be dumping them back into there. You're giving them an avenue to do that. Like, and before they would have no choice. They would end up having to dump them for pennies on the dollar to a breeder somewhere because that's the only person who would be able to buy volume of them. Hopefully that breeder would do the right thing and quarantine them, make sure they're established, and then sell them and stand behind them. So now you've got somebody out there doing the right thing for this animal, even if it was wholesaled. You know, that person realizes this isn't for them. They get out of the hobby and the hobby's healthier for it. You know, and I hate to see anyone leave, and I don't want anyone to take this as, you know, pack your shit and get out of the hobby. But, you know, the people who come in like that with no place to sell their animals, no plan to sell their animals, and the only thing they can do is race to the bottom to sell them. And that's all they're doing to sell their animals. You know what? I'm just going to be the guy to say it. We're probably a better off hobby if those people do slip on and move on to other things.
And I do think we are probably creating somewhat of a supply side issue as well, like down the road with like so many animals kind of going out there at the prices that they're going out there, because some of those people are going to stay in and some of those people are going to breed the animals. But with them paying like such a low price for them, they're not going to put a lot of value on them, and then they're going to be throwing them up there like low as hell again. And so like that's going to be problematic too. I think we're going to be dealing with that at some point as well.
Yeah, and don't take this as a, you know, a bash on Morph Market and their auctions either. You know, it was an ask, what do we do different? And because we're having this debate right here, and I've had this debate with so many people, is why we decided not to do it. because there are people who do value an actual listing site, somewhere where the value is going to be held, a place to list and sell your animals, and to make a legitimate offer to buy an animal, and not somewhere to move them for pennies on the dollar. And so we came here to not that's why we're not doing it. If we were doing everything Morph Market do, be like, oh, we're trying to take over the industry. I'm not here to take over the industry. I'm here to provide what was asked for. And what was asked for was a second place to make money, a second place to provide income, somewhere else they can do business. I was asked by lots of people, I want somewhere I can go do business where there's no auctions at all. And we're there for those people. A lot of those people already aren't on Morph Market. So it's not like we're stealing from them. There's room for both people in the hobby. There's room for us to have a listing site and for us to have an auction site, and for people to stand on either side of the aisle or dance in the middle and do both.
So with the question, as far as you said, the problem you guys are solving is the simplicity, and Morph Market has become convoluted. With the layout of your site, so are we talking, is this just the layout? You mentioned that all the stuff Morph Market has on their site. Is you guys' site just going to be strictly buy, sell reptiles? There's not going to be any links to shipping. There's not going to be any supplies to be bought. There's not going to be any of that stuff going on. It's just the listing website.
No. You missed the first part. We have a supplies section, and we have a enclosure section, but those are for Recoil Reptiles, these small businesses who want to sell their stuff. We're not going to plug in our own shipping company, our own supply company, our own feeder company. We're working with the companies that are out there already in the industry and plugging in options that make sense to utilize with a listing site, but we're not adding it just for the sake of adding it. Like the enclosures and the dry goods, it's just up there with like your reptiles. There's a section if you want to do dry goods and start a small dry goods business, or you make some type of dry goods. Like I've been talking with one of the Gecko Bridge guy. If y'all know him, he's paid a lot on advertising. It's these little foam Gecko bridges that hold a cup, like he wants to advertise his stuff on there. And like Recoil Reptiles and Byron Brace Exotics. If they want to start dry packing and dry shipping their stuff flat packing their stuff, that's an avenue for them to do it. They don't have anywhere to do that now. So that's for them. The shipping, like we have an integration with Redline, but it's not an exclusive contract. You don't have to use Redline. If you want to use Morph Market shipping, go right ahead, buy your label through Morph Market. If you want to use Ship Your Reptiles, if you want to use Debbie, although Debbie retired, use whoever you want. But if you do use Redline, we have the ability to where you can API plug into it and make it easier to print your label and stuff like that. Same thing for Husbandry Pro. A lot of people think they have to use Husbandry Pro. It's like, we're separate. It's a completely separate company. You do not have to use it at all. We made it just as easy for people who use Morph Market and are coming over from there and don't use Husbandry Pro at all. You can't just push a button, but it's almost just as fast. Husbandry Pro was more willing to work with us, so obviously. And so we have a push button integration with them, but we're not exclusive to them. You don't have to use Husbandry Pro, and that's what we've done that's different, is we've plugged in these other things. Instead of trying to take over and do it all ourselves, we've tried to go with the people in the hobby who've been here already doing this stuff and are experts at that stuff, and use them so we can focus on what makes listings better. I don't have to have my developers focus on making new shipping stuff for you. I don't have to have my developers focus on making new husbandry stuff for you. I'm able to have my developers spend 100% of their time making your life easier to buy and sell animals, which is what you're here to do.
Okay. What else you got, Mike?
100%. So let me see what else we got here. Pull this over here, get my stuff organized. I got a few things. So you kind of already touched on some of this stuff, but and I hate to keep saying Morph Market, but obviously Morph Market is like
it is
what it is, right? So we just got to go Morph Market. It's not like a Reptile Ads versus Morph Market type thing, but I mean, it is what it is, right? And so
it's the natural comparison.
Exactly, 1,000%. So talk about, and you already touched on some of this, but talk about like some of the other advantages that Reptile Ads offers over Morph Market.
Advantages.
Yeah.
So we have like I said, we have the dedicated listing site. Besides the ease of use, some of the advantages over there.
Pause. So we got a comment here. This has an elite protective vibe to it. You want to speak to that?
I don't see a question.
So there's not a question. It's basically it's basically a take. Do you want to speak to that? Like in terms of like I don't think that's where you're coming from. So I just give you the opportunity to say, hey, I'm either.
No, I mean that's not where we're coming from. I don't see much of a question to it. I mean, it's not like you have to apply to be a member of Reptile Ads. It's free right now. Everybody go on, hop on, do what you do. We're actually not even going to police the community as much as that's one of the things we do different over Morph Market is, Morph Market tends to be a little bit more involved, sometimes more involved than some people would like. Like we're here to facilitate transactions, and we're going to largely stay out of a lot of stuff. And we're not going to be micro policing the community like some other sites have done. Your reviews are going to be there to speak for you and stuff. Obviously, if people get bad enough reviews, we will eventually go through and remove them, depending if the reviews get low enough. But, we're not removing bad reviews at all. I fully expect people on Reptile Ads to not all have 5-star reviews, because like that's one of the biggest things we've heard in some of our polling from people in the, outside of the reptile community, just random people. If they go to a site and they start looking at users and everybody has 5 stars, it feels scammy and fake. Because if you go to Etsy, if you go to eBay, if you go anywhere where there's sellers, nobody has 5 stars. I mean, yes, somebody has 5 stars, but it's 5, 4.9, 4.8, 4.7, 4.6. You don't see 5 stars everywhere, and there's like 1% of the people have less than a 5-star. It's just not natural, not right. We're not asking people for feedback enough if we're getting 5-star reviews across the board, because some people are that perfect, but not that many.
I think that though is on. But I think that has to be credited to, because on all my Morph Market transactions, when I purchase, if I get the animal and the animal is what it is, you're getting 5 stars. Unless you was just some bum and talk to me crazy like you lost your mind and still send me the animal, then I might give you a 2 or a 3, because at least I got the animal. But most of our transactions is like, hey, I'm inquiring about this animal. Can I get it for $20 less or free shipping? All right, cool. You get it, give me 5 stars, and we be on our way. Like that to me is the reason why I feel like everybody got 5 stars. Either you got 5 stars or you suck. If you don't got 5 stars, you doing something really wrong.
But it's just not a realistic model, though. I mean, like, yes, you do it. Like, I had a guy, as soon as I said this, immediately the other day, I was in a different podcast. Like, it was an hour-long conversation. We could not move past the fact of he deserves his 5-star rating no matter what, because his customer service is perfect. And I'm like, I'm not trying to say nobody does perfect customer service. I'm just saying, when you go through and everybody's got a perfect score, somebody's cheating. Like, somebody's looking at somebody's homework when everybody got the same score. But we're there. That's the part of it, is like, I've seen people. There's been people removed with very high star ratings for stuff that they done, and reviews never got placed on it.
So, question for you,
like community acting. That's not the community stepping in and shedding light on something. That is something swept under the rug, and we've quietly removed them from our site. I know. Why don't you leave it on there? Let's see what happened. Let's see that review.
I know some people that should be removed that ain't got removed.
Yeah, I know some people who should be removed who ain't got removed, and I also know some people who have been removed and probably should have been removed. But some of those people,
that's the thing. Is like
the Reptile Ads, like, or y'all
there's
like,
all that subjectiveness. Like, oh, should he have been removed? Shouldn't he have been removed? Like, it should be a one standard. Like, who the fuck am I to say you need to be removed because you did this? Or you need to be removed.
Let those people come on,
bro. If you didn't do nothing over here, somebody send me a police record. You send me a police record, I'll pull them off. Other than that, keep it to yourself. Leave your comment, leave your feedback, leave your buying experience. The community will tell if they did something dirty and something bad, and someone leaves them bad reviews. If they're caught actually selling sick, animals and stuff like that, yes, we're going to remove them, but we're going to find that through reviews. Unless someone is coming up and showing me police reports for animal brutality and stuff like that, we're not here to sit here and police the community. We are here to facilitate a transaction.
Gotcha.
So are you, when it comes to facilitating it, just stand on, are you guys going to be implementing like how they have on Morph Market, the whole Square, setting up a Square account? Or are you guys strictly, this is
That's
a
already done.
cash? Oh, it's already done. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We've got PayPal too.
I missed that part. Okay.
I hate to say the dirty P word, the dirty reptile P word, but we got PayPal too. You can link your Square account. You can link your PayPal for the buy now. Like, I know ain't nobody actually going to link their PayPal, but you can. We've got Square. We've got it's Stripe or Swipe. I forget because I believe it's called Stripe. I don't use it.
Stripe.
You got 3 different options there to import.
Okay.
And we've looked at other ones in the future. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to plug in for your buy now features.
You could do.
We've also got like some payment plan features where you can like put your payment plan terms in there, and they can do it through the system with the buy now and stuff. Like, I require
send them reminders.
Yeah.
Like, hey, okay, sweet.
That would be nice, because I honestly just had a conversation with a buyer last night and had to tell her that I've accepted her late payment for the last 3 payments. So she don't pay me today, then I was keeping that animal according to my policy.
And you'll have, and the way we're setting it up, like, it still needs a couple tweaks, but we've pretty much got it in there already. You can set up your payment plan in there. You set it up like, oh, I want 3 payments of 33.33%. Like, it does the math on what that is. It tells them, hey, here's your payment. It goes into your order system. There is an orders tab. And from there, you can send a reminder. And then if you take if you're like, hey, sorry, your stuff's forfeit and everything, all of it's done through Reptile Ads. If they come back and they do a chargeback on you, you can come after us for the records and be like, hey, can I get records for this? And it's like, oh yeah, we can show right here where you did this. Here's the terms, here where they clicked, they agreed to it, they said it. And you're much more likely to win a chargeback. No, any system that comes out telling you we're going to stop you from getting chargeback is lying. That we can't stop you from getting a chargeback. We can't stop somebody from being a shitty person and trying to take advantage of you, or not liking how you did business and wanting to charge you back. But what we can do is everything in the world possible to make sure that you win your chargeback. And that's the hard thing, is to make sure you win those chargebacks, because you can't stop them. All you can do is try to, we try to vet our users and make sure and reduce them, but no matter what, they're shitty people are shitty people. Like I used to sell dogs, and I had somebody who bought 5 dogs from me. He got remarried to a new old lady, and I went and sold him his 6th dog, and she didn't like the dog. She wanted to return it. I told her we didn't have anything else to return it. Like I worked with her. I was like, if you'd like, you can send it back. I can give you a deposit on a future one. She was mad because I didn't have another dog to give her right now. She did a chargeback. And we did it all over the phone call. Guess who was out $1,500 for a puppy?
Yeah. Yep. And I'm actually in the chargeback right now. I'm in one right now. This dude didn't send all my snakes, and ain't sent me my money back.
Hey, so you heard back from Buddy?
Bro, this dude went ghost. He ain't supposed to send me 3 snakes, sent me 2. Said he was gonna give me some money back. And I went through, the crappy part was because I went through freaking PayPal, and they make you do this whole long process. And so I'm waiting for them to make a decision. But then I'll call my credit card people too and told them, like, hey, I'm just give me a chargeback and y'all investigate this and do what y'all, and let me know what y'all need, because it's
did he because you talked to Buddy, right?
Yeah,
I
talked to him a few times. Yeah.
So what did he say happened to the other snake?
Nobody knows. He thinks something happened at FedEx. The problem was
like a Winn-Dixie bag or something, didn't he?
It was shipped in a Home Depot box.
What the fuck?
Literally a brown box with the orange Home Depot label on there. That's how the box was shipped. That's how the animals. Yeah. Yep. Man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, piss me off, bro. I'm so pissed. I'm waiting to see what this chargeback stuff gonna do before I go all the way in. But
it wasn't an auction win, was it?
No. This is somebody who's getting out. That
would have been so helpful to my case right now if it had been an auction.
He was like, change the story.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no auction. Blame it on the auctions. Don't try to stay away from them.
Dude, I had one. What podcast was that? I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago. 15 Minutes of Lame podcast. Somebody was talking about he got one and it was just like in a brown box, no foam or anything. It was it a sock? I think he said it was tied in a sock. Was what they used for a bag, and it was an auction win. And I was like, this is what happens at the auctions.
Hey, so real quick
quick
before we get too far off track, real quick, let's take a side quest and talk about exactly what happened with the snakes, just so everybody know. If you want to, if you don't, we can move on.
Yeah, no, basically, yeah, I purchased some snakes from somebody getting out the game, and it was supposed to be 3 visual paint females, 2 yellow belly paints, and 1 regular paint female. I was told that the yellow belly paint was a proven breeder and was minimum 2,500 grams to 2,800 grams. He didn't have a scale on them. She arrived. She was barely 1906, so I don't even think she's been bred, because I got some double head paint clowns that's supposed to go this year, females from me, and they 1,800 grams right now for their first year. So I don't even think she's a proven breeder. Then the other 2 were supposed to be ready to breed this year too, according to him. He said that they were going to be ready to breed, but only 1 came, and the one that came is 700 grams. So I don't know how he figured that 700 gram snake was going to breed. But yeah. And so I let him know.
Coming from Texas.
Say again?
No, not
Okay.
Texas.
All right.
Nah.
not him. But that's an example of somebody who shouldn't be on there. In my opinion.
That's right.
In my opinion.
Prime example.
Yeah,
in my opinion. But let's spin the block back to the other question. As far as advantages, because I cut you off and then we got sidetracked for like 15 minutes.
Does it? What's your cost?
The question, please, officer.
Did you already discuss the cost, or is this free?
So right now it's free. It's free through the end of March. April it goes paid. Basically, you're looking at about half of what you would expect from your Morph Market membership for about twice the tier limits. So if you're not the maximum tier, you can basically get out for about 25% the price. The maximum tier you're looking at, it's about
a quarter of the cost.
40% of the cost. Our maximum tier is $379 or $389. I don't have it in front of me. And that's for the highest tier, premium everything. We've got, and you get a lot better limits. Like a lot of people are going to get by with the $100 a year package. Where I use like a $400 a year package with Morph Market.
Gotcha. So you was talking about the advantages that and that's one of them right there, the cost.
You pay for that stuff. People don't realize. They're like, Morph Market just gives us all this extra stuff. No, they don't. You pay for it. They had a price increase. What do you think that price increase paid for? It paid for all of his developers. Why does he have all this other stuff? He's got to have his developers do stuff. He's got like 11. We trimmed that way down. We used the developers we needed. We built the company. Now we're down at an operating level of it. So we don't have to charge more per month for you to pay for all this other stuff, for us to develop all this other stuff. That's nothing to do with a listing site, which is what you should be paying us for.
So somewhat of a hardball question. So the opposite of that question, like where you think Morph Market got the advantage on y'all on?
They've got 50,000 listings. They've got a decade on us. It's like I'll say it. We blew past the competition in the first 24 to 48 hours. That wasn't Morph Market. In the first month, we've doubled any of the competitors out there. There's not another site in the world you can go to right now that has more listings than us, except for Morph Market.
Who else is out there? Like besides Morph Market? That's I know 2. Well, and King Snake coming back, right?
There's like a dozen on my list. But I'm not going to go through and name them all. But I've gone through and checked them all, and we've got more listings. The highest competitor we could find had about 800 listings. Okay. And we blew past that on the first day, just to give people an idea. I'm not trying to bash other competitors or advertise other competitors, so I'm not going to go through the list. But any listing site we could find anywhere that was an actual listing site for listing animals for sale or reptiles, there's none. There's none that actually got a foothold. And we blew past that on literally day one. We opened with that many. And so we're hoping that's going to help get us out there. We're creeping on 2,500 animals. We've got over 300 users signed up so far. And in the first 60 days, like honestly, that's phenomenal. Like I feel like it's a small number myself personally, and I need lots of reaffirmation from or reformation from people who've done this longer than me and AI, and it's a phenomenal number. Like we've outperformed Etsy, eBay, Morph Market, and crap, I forgot the other one. There's another one, another big platform that launched that, not even reptile platforms. We outperformed them all in the first 60 days. Our performance has just been stellar to be able to get so many good breeders. I mean, we've got good chimeras on there. Everybody loves Patrick. Billy's on there. We've got, Genetic Genesis, Shane. Several people are on there, and we're getting adopted by more and more users daily. I have more and more users who, I've got people who are saying they're going to go to Reptile Ads exclusive next year. Lots of people have been waiting for the new year to check it out. Our paid advertisements just started. I know a lot of the big breeders were waiting on that while we were because we're still in beta. We've got the beta flag up. We weren't pushing a lot of paid advertisements while we were getting our SEO under us. So we could actually show up on Google because it would be counterproductive. And so now we actually got our paid ads started as of the beginning of the year. We're seeing the traffic starting to tick up from other places instead of just the community. But we've already made sales on there. And that's literally just word of mouth, just from the community. No paid advertisements. We didn't even show up anywhere on Google. And there's already been people making money on the site. So, now that the paid advertisements start, now, we're 3 months in, we're building out the pages. The SEO is going to start stacking. By the time we're 6 months in there, we're showing up, top placement in a lot of Google search and stuff like that. And our natural traffic starts flowing, and it should really start taking off after that. So, it's really good to be an early adopter, because when those people do come in, those are the first people that you're going to see. If you didn't check it out yet and you want to check it out later, well, they're not buying your animals because you weren't there to look at whenever the first people came in to look at it. So hop on board early. It's free now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got a lot of good people on there. I'm looking through the list now of sellers. Lots of good folks on there.
Bods, Jeremy. I like Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it shout out to him.
Oh shit, I did say Patrick. I hope he doesn't see this. Everybody loves Andre. Fuck you, Patrick. I mean, we love Patrick. I meant Andre.
You did say Patrick, and I just picked up on it. Like I heard Patrick, but it didn't even like say ding in my head to correct you. But then say ding, you almost didn't say Shane, and I was about to be real pissed off at you if you wasn't gonna say Shane.
Yeah, you got to get on there, get that founder's badge. You can't re-get that founder's badge. That founder's badge only comes once. And when they come in there and they're looking for credibility, like, oh, who's been here? Who's gonna, can I trust to not scam me? Oh, these guys are founders. They've been here for a long time. That's a trust symbol right there, a big one.
Yeah,
and it's free. It's a free trust symbol. All you gotta do is set up your account to get that trust symbol. Free. Right now. Dude, Tony Thomas doesn't even list his own animals. Tony's like, why didn't you tell me you had a listing site? And I was like, because you don't even list your own animals. I figured you'd find it eventually, maybe. And he's like, man, no, you're the homie. I'm gonna have my people do this. I'm like, all right, well, go check it out. And he's like, all right, well, let me look at it real quick, and I'll have my people do it like tomorrow or the next day. I'm like, all right. He messaged me back. It wasn't 10 minutes later. He's like, bro, I have already set up my account and uploaded all my animals. He's like, I don't even do this stuff. I don't even know how to do this stuff on Morph Market. He's like, I get mad and throw shit. And he's like, I'm going to have him come in and tweak some stuff, but I just wanted to say kudos, like that was a big one to me, like people who, he's like, and I didn't tell him, I didn't have to walk him through. I didn't have to hold his hand. It was just like a couple minutes. Like I thought he was about to send me, I saw a ding from him and I was like, ah, shit, he hates it. And, and he's like, I'm already done.
What other questions you had, Matt?
What did he pretty much go over everything we had on that list?
No, I think we only made like question 3 or 4. Like,
yeah, but a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but you were saying, a lot of stuff was you was talking about in between there.
I'd be squirreling.
Because we talked about a lot of it. So we went through like the first few questions. We talked about the pricing. We talked about the migration. We talked about the user base. We talked about advantages and disadvantages. Customer support. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So customer support, so far I'd have to rate it excellent. We've got, the same kind of customer service you would expect that you get from Morph Market or Husbandry Pro. if you've been with Husbandry Pro in the last year, you've seen our level of customer service. I handle all the customer service for Husbandry Pro also. So, that's something that I have years and years of experience in. That's more one of my fortes. So
you guys got plans to improve that? Because I'm just kidding.
Sir, you sent me a direct message that was not provided to the business site. I'm not required to be professional on my personal page.
I am just kidding, bro.
But no, like we've got a place for bug reports. We've got a place for support tickets. We've got the place for contact us, ideas, suggestions. It's all there on the platform. There's nothing that's not being reviewed with post haste. We're on there every single day. We have people who go through that stuff. If you're doing a verified account, we have one single user who does all of that. So we don't have different people in the company looking at different people's information. So your information isn't spread around to different people in the company for your verification. And even our paid, like we have a $3 paid verification. And we like to push that because, then Square did it and it's them, it's official, slaps a little thing on there. We know it. Or we have a free one because a lot of people complained about it and we just eat the cost on doing it ourselves. So it's a little bit invasive, but if you don't like us having your stuff, just pay it's $3. We don't make it. We literally make 39 cents. That's how much money we make off that $3. It's what we paid them. Is $2 a pop plus a $69 processing fee. So like it's not a money sink for us. It's $3. We'll get you instant verification with nobody having to see your stuff. The paid verification, it says it can take up to a week. We haven't had it take more than 24 business hours. And, so we're staying on top of all of that. Everybody's getting replies back to all of our tickets, our messages. I hate to grade ourselves on customer service because, I'm going to say it's obvious, it's great. But I know our response rate is stellar. It's under 24 hours.
So John from Mission Morph's got a question. And I think I seen something on there that's coming soon, the hit list. It's probably going to get at some of this. So he said, does Reptile Ads have an option for someone to type in what specific combo they're looking for and see if it's listed and get a notification?
Yes, the hit list is almost done. And that'll be the little hit list feature where you can go in and you can do it and you'll get a little notification when this goes done. It's in there right now. If you go under, I believe it is, you caught me slipping on one thing. I think it's under activities is hit list.
Yeah.
You go under, what's that?
That's where it was.
Okay. Yeah. If you go under activities, there's hit list. And right now it just says coming soon, but I've been testing on that in the last couple of weeks. We've about got that ready to roll out. We were just pushing real hard on the comment feature. We got the comment feature out because I had a lot more people asking on that one. So we dropped the comment feature a couple of weeks. I guess about the beginning of December, about the beginning of the month. But yes, the hit list will be coming soon. I think I've about got all the bugs worked out with it.
And then Shane said something earlier about like commenting on the ads.
Yes, that's what the comments. So we wanted to get the community involved. This is supposed to be a community thing. Like I can't find my other hat. I got another one that says built for breeders. Why did we start this? Because breeders asked me to. Breeders asked for it, so we built it for breeders. We have to have customers as breeders. So I do have to consider what they want. But at the end of the day, when this paywall turns on and we start charging people by this, customers don't pay shit. Breeders pay my bills. And so what the breeders want is what the breeders are going to get. And I do a breeders first mentality. We want this to be great for y'all. And that's one of the things we heard was we want more community involvement. And the comments feature was actually, Shane can take credit for that one. He gave me the idea for it. And we had thought about something about how to get in community involvement. We hadn't thought about that specific idea. And then he threw that idea on there and I was like, I really like that because it gives it kind of like a social media kind of thing, obviously people are going to hate it. Turn it off. We thought about that right out the gate. Like I see Mike like, yes, I hate this. Automatically Mike hates this.
No, I got a question though. Like, is it moderated in any sort of way? Like, can I go on like somebody's animals and be like, this shit sucks? And it just
you can go on somebody's animals and say this shit sucks. Just like you can go on somebody's Facebook profile and comment on their stuff and say this shit sucks.
Oh, I think that's hella dope there. I think
but
you mis-ID'd this, bruh.
Oh
On the
man,
flip
Matt Oakley
side-
about to go crazy.
Yes. So we wanted that. You know, like if you got enough balls to flop them out there and be like, hey, this is misidentified, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe they want to leave it. But just like your Facebook, if somebody comes out and they want to show their ass on your Facebook thread, what can you do? You can delete their comment because that's your thread that they commented on.
Okay.
So if somebody comes on there and they starts getting hateful and rude, that is your post. You can delete it.
Okay, yeah, Matt Oakley gonna go crazy.
Yeah, you can also report a comment.
I can't wait.
But I can tell you right now, if you report a comment, this is not Facebook admin moderation. We ain't over here to hold hands or provide safe spaces. If they're not giving out your personal identification or making direct threats or derogatory, extreme derogatory words, like personal attacks, it's going to get left up and you can just hide it yourself. But there is a report option where you can report a comment. So if you have a spammer, if you have somebody, like true hate messages or, anything like that, absolutely. We will lock that down with a heartbeat, and it is moderated and it is watched. But no, if they said, I think you're wrong and you're dumb, and this is clearly what that animal is, I'm not going to delete their comment. I'm not going to do nothing about it. If you don't like it, you can delete it yourself. And if you can't handle people's feedback and people's comments, we have the option in the settings where you just leave it unchecked and you don't have that option on your posts. So, because some people ain't going to be able to handle that, to each their own. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people mentally cannot handle that kind of feedback. They don't want that amount of notifications. No hate to you. Turn it off if you don't want to participate in the community like that. You can turn it off on a specific post. Like, man, that's a really, really questionable identification. I know that one homeboy on my Facebook feed who goes through and trashes everybody identification is going to get in my comments and comment. I'm just going to turn it off on this post. So you can turn the commenting off on one post. You can delete them. It's basically just like Facebook. You can like somebody else's comment. You can reply to somebody else's comment. So, good social interaction. You can turn on or off the notification to get notified on comments. So it's a great place to be like, hey man, did you know what the pairing was on this? It's like I can send soft inquiries, like you're in my box sending me an inquiry. I think you really want to buy something. And, in Morph Market, nothing wrong with Morph Market, but if I'm in your inbox, it could be for any little question. Like maybe I'm somewhat quasi interested, but I kind of want to know, and I can drop that in a comment. And a lot of people are going to feel more comfortable with dropping stuff like that in a comment, because how many inquiries have we lost because they're like, man, I know I've had people tell me this, like, man, I've been looking at that animal for so long, but I didn't know what it weighed. And I didn't want to send an inquiry because I didn't want to ask and you to get all excited like I was going to buy it. And it's like, oh, well, you can just drop it right there in the comments. It's.
Are you guys going to rate the buyers?
Buyer rating?
Yeah.
Yes, there will be a buyer rating system. We were going to have it out before launch, but honestly, we didn't have any buyers and it was holding us up too much. So we're like, let's get some buyers in first.
That makes sense.
We're going to have buyer ratings.
What about rankings? On Morph Market is level 1 through 5. Are y'all gonna do something like that, or just say nah?
So we haven't filled out our award system yet. We've got an award system that we're looking at, and we haven't fully locked down how we're going to do that. But that's probably where we would do something along those lines. Whenever you rate them, you can rate them on certain things. Your normal standard stuff like you would see on Morph Market, but a couple of other options. Because one of the things I wanted to work on with the buyer rating was and for the seller rating, some of y'all are going to hate this, a customer service score. Because like my man over here said, I got perfect scores. Because if you just gave me an animal and it's what you said, I'm going to give you a 5 because of peer pressure. And that's it, but what if you got rated on your customer service? How many times you send an inquiry to somebody and they're just an asshole? And you're like, man, I wish I could give him a rating. Well, what if you could? What if someone messages you and you reply to them, now they can rate you on customer service. And so you could give the buyer and the seller a customer service score. They can have a buyer rating and a customer service score. And so if you've got someone who is just a jerk customer and they're rude and send stupid questions. If you reply to them, you can rate them on customer service, and they can get a little customer service score that says, you know, like, hey, I'm gonna give them a 1 star because they just said 500 and didn't reply nothing else. And then I sent them a question and they didn't reply. I'm gonna give you a bad customer service rating. And so you can get a rating like that. And so you would have an official rating that shows up everywhere for like your buyer rating. You know, that would be, it shows up on your profile and everything like that. And then you would have a separate rating for your customer service.
Where would that show up at?
We're not 100% on that one yet. It's something that I really, really, really want to do. But I'm not set in stone on it yet because I have had some negative feedback, but I've had a whole lot of positive feedback on it too. Because it's the catch-22. Like, I get a lot of complaints about this one too. You get shitty service from people, and then you can't say anything about it because you didn't buy an animal from them. You know, or you got this customer who's got 500 inquiries and has bought 2 animals, but all their ratings are great because the 2 people they bought animals from loved them because they bought their animals. And so that's the only one who got to leave them a rating. So how do we do something so we know that this person's a tire kicker, and so that the customer knows that this guy's an asshole and doesn't reply to messages for at least 48 hours, regardless of what his policies say? You know, I mean, do we just leave it up there? Because like right now, Morph Market's just left it in the wind, and I've had a lot of ask for it because they've left it in the wind. And so it's like, do we add it? Or are we going to piss more people off by doing it than we're going to make happy doing it? You know, like I'm torn on that one.
Gotcha.
Yes, everyone's thinking on that. They're like, I don't know. I mean, it's good, it's bad. I can see a good side and a bad side on that one.
Yeah, I can see pros and cons. Like, I'm just running it through my head. I can definitely see pros and cons. Because like I know me, it depends on like how verbose I am in my messages. Depends on what I got going on at the time. Like, I'm always like super nice, but I might be a little shorter if I'm at work or if I'm at a red light, because I don't text and drive. But if I'm at a red light, I might check something real quick, like stuff like that. You know what
but
I mean?
If you had a customer service score, would you be like, ooh, let me make sure my reply is on point, you know, like.
Yeah, but I don't want to feel the pressure to have to like type a paragraph. I just want to be nice, like nice and succinct, right? You got to find that happy medium.
But see, like if you were nice, are they going to give you a bad rating? Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know. Like, it's definitely not anything that we would drop out soon. Buyer rating will either come first or at the same time if we do it. Because I know buyer rating's on my list, but again, we need more buyers before we get to worry about the buyer rating.
Gotcha. What about shed testing?
Shed testing has nothing to do with buying or selling an animal. So it's not anything we're looking at adding to the platform to be able to do on there. It doesn't facilitate you buying a snake. It doesn't facilitate you selling a snake. You know, if you use Husbandry Pro, well, no, not anymore. We don't have a deal with shed testing. There's plenty of other places where you can get a shed test done, and all of the shed testing companies are moving to platforms of their own device where you just go straight to them to get shed testing. I know that's where Charlie's going. You know, everything's going to Phenom, and they want everything done through there. So, you know, I mean, everyone's going to a point of doing their shed testing there. The only thing that would have anything to do with a listing whatsoever would be something saying it was shed tested. But, you know, at the same time, you just put in a comment like, hey, it was shed tested for this. You add the genetic if somebody asks about it. You know, I don't know. I haven't paid I don't think on Morph Market, I don't even know about Clutch, but I don't think on Morph Market, you don't actually get like a seal or like, oh, verified, tested or anything like that anyways. And we would never do anything like that because you can hang them sheds like it's nothing. All you got to do is send in whatever shed's the right shed and be like, oh, look, I shed tested it. So, yeah, that's why we'll never slap a verified, like tested, because then like, that's like us putting our seal on it.
It's so hard to do like, or at least I haven't like thought of a way to do like a foolproof, you can't game the system, shed test verification that, hey, I tested this snake. I sent this snake's shed and it came back with X, Y, and Z genes. Because to your point, I mean, you can send in whatever, you know what I mean, and just attach it to like that snake's ID and say, hey, I tested it, you know what I mean? But
Well, and we looked at that stuff too. It's like, well, I mean, is it worth the cost for us to code in and to link in to like have it where because then you have to buy the shed through here to make it go to there to get it to link back to here, and it's like now all of a sudden we're a shed testing sales platform, and I'm like, it's your word. What does it mean for me to say I shed tested this and it tested Het Clown versus I've got a feedback from them and it says, oh, hey, it was tested. Here's a check mark that says they tested it. If anything, all we're doing is making it easier for people to scam people.
Yeah, 100%. Matt, you got any more questions before we wrap it up?
Nah, I don't have any questions. He pretty much went through the stuff I was curious about. I got to set up my free account so I can get my founder's badge. You know what I'm saying? And have snakes on both accounts. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I should have my founder's badge. Where you see the founder's badge at? Like, where can I verify that I got mine?
Look on your store page. See if it shows up. Yeah, and like Shane says, some tests are prone to folly. So, like putting on there like, oh, we verified it. It's almost like we're kicking the responsibility back to the shed testing company, and they are 100% not taking any responsibility for validating for if you sold it as shedtesting.com said it's het hypo and they bought it as het hypo and it proves out not to be het hypo, shed testing is not taking care of them. And whatever breeder's hearing this today and needs to hear this, it's on you. If shed testing was wrong, if RGI was wrong, it's still on you. So that's why they don't want to put check.
I think this is the year on the side note, as far as shed testing goes, that we definitely about to start seeing a lot of people got those females that's up to ready to breed. I mean, shed testing been around for a good 3 years now, 3-4 years.
It's been a minute.
Now these females, shed tested. I'm sure some males have been ran through that have proven out or whatever that supposedly were shed tested or whatever. But I'm curious because I shed tested some on my own that I've held back because of shed testing results. So I'm curious to see if they prove out. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't see it, but I'm scrolling like super fast. I ain't like deep diving or whatever. But I ain't gonna hold everybody up to look for it. But I'll figure it out. If not, I know who to message.
Yeah, that's all part of the award system and stuff. That some of the stuff we're rolling out. There is a roadmap in there about some of the stuff we're working on in the coming quarters and stuff for 2026. But we'll actually be retooling that roadmap in the next couple of weeks because a couple of the things on the roadmap we've already knocked out. And we had to rethink
on the roadmap. Like what gets you most excited as far as like what's coming in the future?
Man, there's so much stuff on there. Dude, I'm a numbers nerd. The advanced analytics is my favorite. Like right now we've got like some very, very base analytics. And that's what's going to be available in like the free tier and stuff like that. But our premium tier is going to have access to some advanced analytics, and you're talking, some pretty advanced, some nice graphs, charts. Like I'm a numbers freak, like
advanced analytics specific to your stuff or specific to activity on the site.
It's going to be specific to the activity of your stuff on the site.
Okay, gotcha. Because like that's some stuff that I would like to see. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I like to see what's selling on other people's stores too. Like what genetics are selling. What, you know what I'm saying? And what I like to see that for sure.
Prices, stuff like that. I mean, obviously, like some of that stuff can be like, you know what I mean, like doctored up because somebody could have something listed for 1,000, they can mark it sold, and then the data that go in is 1,000, but really they sold it for 800. So obviously there'll be some noise in the data, but it still would be nice to kind of like see like some of that data just to kind of get like a general like.
We're obviously we have it, we're collecting it, we're scraping it. There's no point in giving it until there's a lot of it though. You got to have a big enough sample size.
Yeah.
But that is something we've looked at without giving away, because there's a couple things that aren't on the roadmap that I don't want to discuss because I don't want to give it away because then somebody else might do them first. But there's some analytical stuff that will be added that'll be really nice that you'll like. And it'll show a lot of good information and stuff. And we're working on tracking pricing and stuff. And we're doing a lot of a lot of quiet stuff that people haven't even noticed that we haven't really talked too much. about, and a lot of people don't talk about what happens with market manipulation on Morph Market.
Yeah, I would love to see that, bro. Like, I would love to see y'all roll out some stuff like that, man. You know how much content we can create with that? Like, we can have a whole.
So just an easy one. You sell your animal on Reptile Ads, you can't edit it anymore. You can't go back in and change the prices to lie to the people about what stuff was selling for. You can't come back and delete your listing that you had 117 listings of this genetic and it wasn't selling, and you decided you want to rebrand it. You better make a new account or something, because you're not going to be able to delete those listings and then repost them up as some new genetic. Like, people don't talk about stuff like that happens. I see you grinning a little bit because we all hear about it, but people don't talk about it live. Nobody comes on here. I can't change
my Wookiee to chocolate.
Yeah, you can't change your Wookiee to chocolate. You're talking about old heads been on the system since the beginning. How easy is it to go and just, oh, you know what? This genetic never caught on. No one ever heard about it 10 years ago. 98% of the hobby wasn't here 10 years ago. Let me just delete all my listings quietly and launch this new genetic. And then the people who are around are like, oh man, dude, he's rebranding. He used to do this. Let me go look at his. Well, all those listings are gone. There's no proof. All the proof's gone. It's there. It's record. If you had it, you listed it and it's sold, it should stay there. And, you shouldn't be trying to hide it or anything. And it needs to be there for us to pull our data from, to get, future listing recommendations, to get our statistics from and stuff like that. And most of us are up, honest people, forthright. Most of us are just marking our stuff sold on Morph Market anyways. There's very few of us actually trying to delete our stuff and go back and change our stuff after the fact. But that's why we locked them down, to stop the people who do it, because it does happen.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'll be dope, man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what y'all do with that.
Little things.
Cool, man. So this has been a good episode, man. A damn good episode, man. Lots of good information, lots of good discussion, all that good stuff, man. Definitely glad to get you on, man. It's been a lot of fun, man. Very informative, all that good stuff. Matt, you got anything before? Yeah, I agree with that. Matt, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, I don't. We'll check back in for sure in 6 months, 8 months or whatever, see what's popping off, how it's going, and get some updates on it. That's for sure at some point, maybe in the third quarter of the year or something like that. For sure, I'd like to see what's going on with it. So, but yeah, other than that, man, thanks for the information.
I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's always a blast, man. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, man. Big shout out to everybody, man, who kicked it with us the whole episode, man. Big shout out to the live chat. It was going crazy. Big shout out to replay gang and audio only gang, man. Appreciate y'all. Definitely leave us a comment. Let us know you're here. Let us know what you thought about the episode, man. But that's going to be it for tonight. For Double Clutch, I'm Mike. It's the homie Matt. That's the homie Zach. The lovely lady behind the scenes is Takar. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed. Peace. See if I can find all my stuff now. Hey, man, you take 2 weeks off, or however long we took off for the holidays, man. I came back super rusty with finding like all these icons and stuff like that. But
right,
yeah,
are we still live right now?
We still live, bro.
I'm like, did he say peace or what were you?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the button, dog.
Ran out of peace. I ran out of like.
It's like,
out. I feel like Sammy over here.
Right.
All right, we out now for real.
All right, yo.
With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, you can't be beat. Double clutch with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's very set. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be